Well, I was wrong. We got a little bit of work going on. Let's go. This is a big deal here, folks. We got some news here. The Detroit Lions All-Pro center Frank Ragnow is retiring. In somewhat of a shocking move, the Detroit Lions Frank Ragnow announced that he is retiring. Here it is. These past couple of months have been very trying. I've come to a realization that my football journey has ended and I'm officially retiring from the NFL. Tried to convince myself that I'm not feeling good. It's time to prioritize my health and family future. I've given the team everything. I have thought they had more to give, but in reality, I simply don't. I have to listen to my body, and it has been the hardest decision of my life. The Lions organization has been absolutely incredible throughout the process, and I can't emphasize this enough how grateful I am for the team and the fans. It's been an absolute honor. Yeah, so there you go. Big deal. Frank Ragnow has retired from the NFL. Whew. Well, yeah, so that changes the fact here. They're saying he wasn't happy about the contract. Doesn't seem like it was contract related at all. That information clearly is incorrect. It was his body. And we knew that we talked about it last year, potentially retiring. And because of his body. We all get to this point. Now, before we rip on anything of Frank Ragnow or any of that, not one time has he come out in the offseason and said any contract issue or anything like that. But he has, throughout his tenure, talked about his body, the pains and injuries. So, it's a mix. Can be a mixed feeling, people in here. But I do want to, I do appreciate Frank Ragnow, what he's given this team for so long. So prayers up, prayers up for him and his future going forward, number 77 for the Lions, right? So prayers up to him. No, I totally understand with the body. Man, he's talking about the pain and the injury sustained that he has. I totally understand. I had to retire out of the Army early. I wanted to do the full 20 years. I've talked about this endlessly. But after 8 years, my body just gave up, right? Your body you just can't handle it no more. Matter of fact, my back hurt so bad, I was just laying on the ground with ice packs because my body hurt so bad. So for him out there, for him, if it's physical, there's nothing that could be done, right? It's same thing with Calvin Johnson or anybody else. Your body gives out and it hurts. And so, much love to Frank Ragnow for that. And I can appreciate that he's putting his family first. He's putting his body first, his life first. Because when you're talking about the beatings that he has as a player, it's not just obviously in the NFL, but his college days and then in high school, his body's probably beat up. And, it's when you're beat up, you got to make it a life choice. He's got a family. He's got kids. He's making that for his family and his kids, so he's retiring. So, I appreciate everything he brought to the Lions. But what does it mean now for the Lions going forward? We're going to take Ratledge has been playing center. That's probably what it's going to be. Maybe they do bring in another player now, another offensive lineman to come in. They don't necessarily have to. They have really good depth on the offensive line. But, man, that definitely puts a wrinkle, right? That puts a huge wrinkle into the situation there. You're losing one of the best offensive linemen in all football, right? He's the best center in football. It's a big deal. He helps Jared Goff with the coverage and what's going on defensively. That's going to be a big deal. It's a big loss for the Lions' offensive line. You lost Kevin Zeitler and you lose Frank Ragnow. That's huge. This one is going to hurt. This one's going to hurt, folks. This one's going to hurt the Lions for this year for sure. I'm happy that they doubled up on linemen with this news. Imagine if they didn't, right? Imagine if they didn't. getting Tate Ratledge and Miles Frazier now is looking like such a smart decision in the draft. Such, I mean, because if he would have retired and you only got one, then you lose Kevin Zeitler. Holy smokes, that is a big piece there. So now I think the Grant Glasgow is definitely going to be on the team this year. I don't think the Lions going to release him anymore. 100%. It doesn't necessarily mean to be center or anything. He absolutely could be a guard. But when you lose a big one, and now they're, unless they picked up another guy, Graham's going to be on this roster. But this is a big loss to the Lions' offensive line. This is a significant loss. And it's going to have ripple effects. It's going to have ripple effects. I think this does reduce the Lions' win total. For sure. I mean, it's going to... He's lost one of the best centers in football. Oh, man. And it's tough. It's tough on the Lions because we're so good of a team. And you've lost Kevin Zeitler and Frank Ragnow. With that said, Frank was injury prone. He was dealing with that issues, and we've talked about it on here that potentially he could have a shorter career. I talked about last year that maybe this past year was his last season, or the year before that. We've talked about it, but it just happened. It's over. Frank Ragnow retired, and man, this this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. They talked about it being what's I don't know what's going on in the media because everybody was saying this was a contract related thing. This was just a couple days ago. You didn't go to OTAs and Dave Burkett and everybody was saying it's contract. It wasn't at all. I don't know what's going on at least with the media as of late surrounding the Lions locally, but we've been getting it wrong a lot, and that's not good, right? Like, we got to get better with this, saying that it was a contract. Literally, Dave Burkett said that just a couple days ago. Then obviously went through all the media. Everybody talked about it, and I literally talked about this morning. Like, I didn't think money would be an issue, and it doesn't seem like that was an issue at all. But they're now retiring because of the body. Now that is an issue. So I mean, I prayers up to and I want people to understand if his body is broken, there is nothing he can do, nothing. There's just nothing you can do. I know a lot of people got mad at Andrew Luck when he retired, or Calvin Johnson retired. He did it, and now there's going to be people that's upset with Frank Ragnow. He is saying it is his body. I 100% believe Frank Ragnow on this. I didn't understand the idea of a contract and money. I didn't think that'd be an issue, but when he talked about it, his body, I can't get upset about that at all. He tried to give it a go. There's just only so much that the body can handle after it gets beaten down to a pulp. And when you get older, if you're a younger fan watching this video and you're upset, I turned 40 the other day. I'm telling you, each year that passes, it gets harder. I've torn my meniscus. I've had multiple surgeries on my neck, my back, throwing it out. I've been cut up, sliced up more. And every year it does get harder on your body. And for a decision for him to retire at 29, he is putting his future of his own future, because his body's going to be wrecked. Best believe his body's going to be wrecked when he's 40, 50 years old. But he's preserving his body right now for his family, and I can't get upset about him for that. As a fan, it sucks you're losing that piece, and it's going to hurt the team. And we're worse today than we were yesterday. That's a fact. But I can't keep me mad at Frank Ragnow because he just can't do it no more. Your body gives out, it gives out. I remember looking in the mirror, my last days, when I was in Iraq, a couple months before I was before I was coming home, and my body was so tore up. And should I stay in the Army? Should I do a contract? And I knew in the bottom of my heart, my body could not withstand that anymore. And it was a tough decision to retire and not do a renewed contract. You know, and there's just nothing you can do. And I can't get upset about him. And I wish him the best. Hopefully, Ratledge, we gotta put a lot of emphasis on Ratledge now in the preseason and everything for that center position. Because we're going to have an offensive line that could be completely revamped. We got to see it come. So give me your thoughts in the comments. With that said, folks, adios.